And yes, we are back here again. Hello, everyone. Guten Tag, bonjour, добрый день. This is me, Zeno77. And yes, oh, yes, we are doing this yet again, yet today. We are up for another stream. And yes, we will be streaming about Misha Petrov. The reason why this stream will be dedicated to her is because now we've settled this plan. As you may see, these streams are now Tuesday. For some of you, it's already Wednesday night, but it's still a Tuesday night, technically. And as we made the deal last week, we are going to have Tuesday streams dedicated to either Misha or Brad Cooper, and the Thursday streams are going to be for some other creators, some other maybe topics. But the reason why we also stream her is because she's one of the most popular persons, so to say, on this channel, and I have no clue why. I genuinely have no clue why. But you seem to enjoy watching her. Wait, let me just I'll put this here. You seem to enjoy watching her. No, those are my shoes. Need to find space for my iPad. In any case, we're gonna wait for a couple more people, and then we are going to start. You will see these reactions on YouTube. They are going to be uploaded. I'm not sure, by the way, how are we going to upload the reaction from last week, because hold on, let me just check. Yep, all good. Because that reaction kind of suffered from technical issues. Wait, can you hear me? Let me listen. Yeah, all good. You can hear me. Just, simple check, because we did have technical issues. It was raining at my place, and I just couldn't have a normal reaction. So it was cut a bit. I don't think it's going to be a good idea to actually upload it, but we'll see. Before we start, I mean, let's probably, while we're waiting, discuss some of the topics we will be talking about today. So the topic number one is going to be a furry problem. Her video called "Do Schools Have a Furry Problem?" And another one, oh yeah, this is going to be sweet, because we're going to talk about communism. And yes, we are going to try to tackle it from more of a philosophical way and not a political way. I did have a political reaction. You all know that reaction. It was the Vladimir Putin reaction. And I got a lot of hate on it, which I genuinely don't care, because this is my channel here. I do whatever I want. And obviously, I sometimes listen to you and sometimes I don't. So it's my call and not yours. But another thing that I actually pointed out in the last reaction that I've uploaded is that I'm not going to be reacting to things that I consider bullshit. So if we're watching a video and it is considered a bullshit, I'm going to repeat it while we're watching it. I'm just simply turning it off. I'm simply turning it off, and because I'm not going to sit through a whole video if it propagates degeneracy. Especially, I don't want to be the one who propagates it. So I think with that being said, with these conclusions being made, I suggest we jump into the stream. We jump into the reactions. If you have any comments or any stuff you want me to watch, please leave them in the comment section. We will go through them when we get time, obviously, and then we'll see.
What the is rainbow dust? Yes, it's a real problem.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to start a stream. Yeah, actually, this is how I'm going to start it. Let's do the YouTube introduction. Do schools have a furry problem? Another video by Misha Petrov that we are going to be reacting to. Before we start our reaction today, I'm going to point out something that I did at the beginning of the stream, but I'm also going to say it for you YouTube viewers. I cut my last stream on Misha Petrov because the video was propagating, in my opinion, degeneracy. So if I'm going to see that what I'm watching makes absolutely no sense and I am feeling awful from it, I'm gonna turn it off. And I'm not gonna lie, but while I turned it on, and those of you watching on stream can prove it, while this was the first thing that I saw, yeah, I can count the minutes when I'm going to turn all of this off. But without going further ado, I will also point out that the reason why we're watching her videos because they get a lot of views and because I like them. So if you want me to watch any other creator, please leave a link to them or their name in the comments, and I'll probably add it to a first day stream. And with that being said, let's jump into the reaction.
This is terrifying. Look at this.
I need to point out at the beginning, I probably have to send this stream to a friend of mine who is a huge furry fan, and maybe listen to his reaction to it.
Spiders, they scratch us, they run on all fours and pounce on people.
Why are they spraying you with Febreze?
Putting litter boxes in the girls' bathroom?
Hey guys, it's Misha, and welcome back to my channel.
What's up?
So today we're going to be talking about furries. A little disclaimer, I am actually pretty terrified of furries. I am a furry phobe, but it's actually
Furry phobe. I never understood the culture. That's the problem. I genuinely didn't understand. Were they parodying, like, did they pretend to be a fox? Or did they just love these fluffy animals? I never got it, actually. So I can relate to either being a fan or hating them, just like not caring, so to say. I think this is actually the first time ever we're doing a furry reaction. I'm not sure that I ever had something similar on my channel.
not clear whether or not these children were protesting furries or Therians, perhaps. If you don't know what that means, we're going to talk about it. But basically, there were a bunch of kids from a school in Utah who did a walkout and are protesting children who are acting like animals. Now, by that, I don't just mean they're crazy or loud or something. They actually wear ears, tails, animal masks, and pretend to be animals. And these children have had enough. So we're going to be taking a look at this protest and try and find out if they're lying or if this is actually happening. But before we start, please make sure you are subscribed and have hit the notification bell.
Yeah, same. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to do. You have to put a like and you have to subscribe to this channel because we're going to our next milestone. As it stands, it's 125 subscribers, and I hope it's much more while you're watching this on replay. So, libs of TikTok. I should probably do a stream dedicated to only this this X account. Students walked out of Nebo School District in Utah to protest the school for allowing furries to terrorize other students. Students claim that the furries bite them, bark at them, and pounce on them without repercussion. However, they defend themselves in any way they get in trouble. Okay, interesting. Let's watch it.
Bite them, bark this interview.
They wearing a mask every day?
Yes. But every time we go, they're always...
Check this out. Like, these are genuine kids, not like even crazy, you know, teenagers who are having some different time, you know, puberty starts hitting them. These are like literally children. I mean, this boy is not even 10, I would say. Maybe these are like 12. This girl might be like the oldest, tops 14, I would give her.
just wearing a mask, but the principal finally stood up and banned those stuff. But they still wear them every day. Yeah, and they don't get in trouble. Principal doesn't make them get in trouble. Yeah. All the principal says is...
I mean, technically, if COVID masks are not banned, why should furry masks be banned? just a suggestion for you to think about.
Just be kind, be nice, and then
Accept them. It's all about acceptance. You know, you shouldn't be discussing everyone's personal beliefs that have nothing to do with the academic subject, so the teachers have to make sure they maintain, again, a professional environment. It's not a place for children to be doing, face paint or headbands with ears and pretending to be animals. If it's a costume party, if it's some sort of event where it makes sense for the kids to be dressed like animals, okay. Even then, though, like when they start to get much older, it's a bit weird. And these
Every day is a party.
kids are not like 5 or 6 and they're dressing up like animals. So it's still weird, but it's especially weird and inappropriate for them to be doing this at school.
What's the point of dressing up like a furry?
It's just I don't know.
Oh, one person at a time, please.
They think they're so cool that they want to get a lot of attention. I think they want attention. So people can come at them and just look at them and think that they're so cool.
Okay.
If I were a reporter, I would just like interview one kid at a time. So I would ask this girl one question, this girl one question. That would make it like much more clear, because I don't even blame the kids. The guy's just like, okay, what's the problem? And they all have to share it. It's weird how from a furry problem we go into a journalistic problem.
Also,
Are you guys going to be in trouble for walking out of school today?
no, maybe we might. If we go back on school grounds, we will get
You're sleeping, please.
in trouble.
Do your parents know you guys are out here?
Yes.
Okay.
They attack us. If they fight us and we just kick them, we get in trouble. They attack us. They attack us and we get in trouble.
And how else do they attack you?
And listen, of course kids can lie. They have a lot to say. It seems like they're telling the truth.
They either fight us, they
That's exactly something similar that I wanted to say. Like no proof, no actual problem. But again, they kind of seem believable. Also, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably change the background a bit so it would be better for you to watch. Yeah, like something like this, because sometimes she has the videos in the right lower corner, which I block with my amazing face.
scratch us, they bark at us, they run on all fours and pounce on people.
Why are they spraying you with Febreze?
Just because we apparently have rabies. And there's a rumor that
This reminds me of those horse girls at school. It seems that everyone had a horse girl, and it's not just a girl that liked horses. It's a girl that thought she was a horse, and she would get on all fours and just run around the classroom. And there's probably like different versions of these girls, so maybe someone has seen a girl who thinks she's a dog.
Oh, I mean, my school had weirdos, but I was amongst the weirdos. I would probably be the most normal person around these fellas.
Or something, or a cat. But we're talking like younger years, not 10, 11, 12-year-olds pretending to be animals. That's what this reminds me of. Also, I will add that from personal experience, okay, we had a family friend come over and they have a child and she is about 10 years old, and she was talking about a girl in her class who is a Therian. Okay, so it's different than a furry. The way I understand it, because we have talked about these Therians before, for me it's exposure therapy, right? Because
Wait, who's a Therian? I mean, I don't know, and if I don't know, I Google stuff. Sorry for taking it from the stream. Ah, hell no, come on. I don't want French explanation. God, I have to set these settings somehow. Any mammal that the subclass. Yo, my yo. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Ah. Why are there orangutans here?
I don't know why. It's like I talk about so many disturbing topics, but these Therians and the furries is just people that dress up like animals.
It just makes me so incredibly uncomfortable. There's something so incredibly demonic about this, like especially the furries and the fursuits. I absolutely despise seeing that.
But it's your life, you can do as you please. Kids shouldn't be doing that at school though, obviously. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay, so she was saying that there's a girl in her class who is a Therian, like spiritually connected to a fox. I believe she said it was a fox. And so
spiritually connected. Which book did she read? Okay, people read the Bible, they're spiritually connected to God. Which book did she read? Hey, it's Brian. Sup, fella? It's all good. It's all good. We're having the Misha Petrov stream. If you want me to react to something, you know what to do. You just send it in the chat, and then after I finish watching this video, I react to yours. But I'm good. Hope you do fine as well.
I have seen a lot of videos online, on TikTok, on YouTube, of these children who are always like about 11, 12, something like that, and they are running on all fours. They make animal noises, and sometimes they mix the animals, and they're like, oh, I'm half owl and half walrus, and they make up a bunch of stuff. So
Just pretend to be Ben Tennyson. Like, put an Omnitrix, you transform into someone, stay like this for like 10 minutes, then go back to normal human. Genuinely. And you can transform to any alien you want. I used to play with this around when I was younger. Nobody thought that was weird.
yeah, it's different than the furry fandom, which they put on usually like these fursuits, and a lot of adults do it, and they go to these conventions, and a lot of the time it has certain adult themed content. And it's actually very disturbing when you think
See,
about
this is the problem when, before like she can do, this is the problem which I have. Because it all starts with, whoever cares intentions. Like someone does what they like more, someone does the other thing. Like, I'm a sports fan. And I often watch people being super crazy about their teams, like actually going insane. And the dedication to it, like sometimes can go too radical. And there have been so many cases in history. We can talk about the footballer Escobar who was shot because of a known goal. And that is the thing that I always have a problem with whenever we tackle any issue. It's all good until it goes too far. And I think when, as she said, you put in some really like real adult content into it, that's when it goes too far. Because we're talking about children. We're talking about innocent young children who shouldn't be experiencing this in their young age. They will come to this eventually, maybe. And there are people who do crazy stuff in bed, like crazy. But it's their life and they are adults. They're responsible for their choices. But those are little kids. And we should protect them because of the psychology of them forming. It's complicated, but I tried to somehow make it into an interesting comment.
it, because kids love like animals, and maybe very young like children, they'll see a furry costume or whatever. It's probably similar to when they go to Disney World or Disneyland and they see those people dressed as like Mickey Mouse, right? It's like, oh, haha, the mouse animal, right? I'm sure it's easy for them to kind of enter that fandom, and then to think about the fact that there are adults who are in those costumes doing God knows what. It is very disturbing. And even put that aside for a second, even if it's just innocent and they're just wearing these costumes, whether they're Therians or furries, whatever, it still obviously makes other students uncomfortable, okay? If they're
The one of the worst things that I actually have saw is when people take Disney characters and write fan fictions about them engaging into adult stuff. That shit is disturbing because, bro, the imagination of those fan fiction writers, it goes beyond. I'm never going to do a stream about this because I ain't the guy who's going to be propagating this on YouTube.
organizing an entire walkout, and we've seen this in multiple schools about parents complaining, videos coming out of children going to school with tails, with headbands, with ears. There's obviously a lack of discipline if you're allowing your children to go to school dressed as an animal. Again, if it's some sort of costume party going on, okay, but if the kid is going to school to learn, why are you allowing them to go dressed as a cat? And if they're consistently dressing up as an animal, that could lead to some sort of disconnection, right, from reality and fantasy. They should be able to express themselves and play pretend and be creative while their brains are developing. But that should be for playtime. And then there should be school. And schools should have some sort of dress code. And
even if you don't have a dress code, and let's say you allow, I mean, I don't know, for example, people like little girls, they wear earrings, and a lot of teachers don't judge what specifically are the decorations of those earrings. Someone may have Hello Kitty earrings, someone may have gold earrings, someone may even have, I don't know, big pirates. As long as it doesn't disturb the student and or their colleagues, it's usually all good. And by disturbing, I mean not only from lessons, but in general, like life disturbing. You can see that the kid is okay. As long as that is okay, there is no problem, like real problem.
Prevent children from distracting other children from learning. And I feel like most parents, like if they're noticing that their child is growing older and older and they're still acting like an animal, it might be time to have a talk with them, right? Sit them down and say, you know what? You're not 5 anymore. This shouldn't be a habit, and you shouldn't bring this into adulthood.
Putting litter boxes in the girls' bathroom? And the boys. They started putting litter boxes. Yeah, litter boxes.
I heard that was just a rumor.
No, it's true.
Is it something you've seen?
Yeah. They're putting litter boxes in the bathroom.
So we can't talk or say anything to the furries or even look at them, but they can come look at us and then they can say stuff to us and touch us. And they don't get in trouble, but we get in trouble.
Interesting. That sounds like a double standard to me.
Yes.
And they say they're putting litter boxes in the girls' bathroom. We've heard this before. I mean, I can't be surprised, because if we're allowing kids now to have their identity be respected, actually it's mandatory, right, for the teachers now to respect children's identity. If they're a tree self, why can't they be a meow self then? And if they're a meow self, then they need a litter box. Absolutely ridiculous. Kids should not have to go to school and have a confused child next to them pissing and in a litter box. When I was a child, I played so many different games with my friends. We pretended to be, monsters and mermaids. But when we went to school, we were students. We were humans. After leaving the pool, we weren't mermaids anymore. And we knew that, right? Like even as kids, we knew that. And while these kids are forming their identities, they shouldn't have teachers affirming them and saying, yeah, for sure, you're a horse.
Like the problem that I often have is that why are they trying to identify with something that is lower than they are right now? And you think about it. If you're a human being, and if you would want to pretend that you're someone or identify as someone, you would probably want to go be something bigger or better than a human, someone who has the advantage over being a human. That's why, for example, I like pretending to be Ben 10. I remember when I was young, I used to wear the Omnitrix and pretend that I transformed. Obviously didn't go that far, but I still liked it because you felt like something cooler. You could into advantage of you being who you are, you could also do additional cool stuff. And I mean, I get people who are like trying to pretend like they're Supermans or Batmans, or even religious people forbid me, but like God. But why going so low as to furries? Like, what's the advantage of you switching from human to furry? And I really have only one explanation. It's a dumb child. Like, children are in general dumb. I was a dumb child. You were probably a dumb child. We develop, even if you look at yourself 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you need to see that you've developed. Otherwise, you have a problem, trust me. So we grow and we learn. But while we're young, we make a lot of mistakes. And I really hope that a lot of these kids will have enough time to stop and think, okay, my life went the wrong way. I need to kind of switch it. And often the problem is the kids can't spot it. And as Misha commented correctly, it's the parents' responsibility.
No, yeah, you're a peacock. You're a bird. No. They should say, you know what? If you want to play pretend at home, if your parents are, letting you do that, that's great. But in my classroom, we're here to learn. We're not here to talk about your theory and identity. We're not here to play along with your delusion. Same thing with neo pronouns. This is just the logical next step. So I do believe these children, because
defending the defeating the matrix, new neos.
if we're taught to accept absolutely everything, this shouldn't be a surprise. And this is more recent. It says photos have surfaced of furries in the Nebo school district in Utah. The media and a spokesperson for the school are claiming it's not happening. Look at this.
Like, again, why would you want to be this thing? Like, what advantage do you get from being this thing compared to when you're a human? Do you get some superpowers? Do you get more knowledge? Like, when I was young, I wanted to be something cooler. I still want to be something cooler, but now I understand the limits of me being a human. Why do you want? Why do you hate being yourself so much?
They're all in these theory. Those
Again, I will always give them the credit, like the benefit, not the credit, not the benefit. What's the correct word? The excuse of them being a child. There's a reason why we say that children are responsible, and that's why we don't give them responsibilities compared to adults. But still, I'm asking you I mean, 9-year-old me would watch this and ask you, yo, why are you Kitty the cat, Horsey the horse? Why don't you want to be Superman? Or okay, if you're not a fan of DC, Iron Man. I don't know. Even Aquaman works. Come on. Aquaman will always be better than some stupid fish.
I recognize that. That's a Therian mask. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from the videos I've seen of them like crawling on the floor outside and pretending to be foxes, they wear these kinds of masks, right? It's a little different than the furry suits, which are usually, head to toe. So my guess would be that these are Therians. So they're kids.
The fact that she's talking about this as a rational thing is already frightening me.
They're confused, they think they're animals, and then the school is claiming it's not happening. Here are some Therian TikToks in case you guys are wondering what this is.
Please don't.
That's cool. It's cool that you can jump like that. Take that talent and maybe learn gymnastics or something.
This is Chris, the firstborn. Oh boy, he's a handful.
And that's why I believe those kids who are...
That's also what I hate.
Boy, he's a handful.
Cool. What are your stereotypes? You see why I can't look at this series? I don't know why, but this really triggers me. And again, English is not even my first, and I can debate if it's even my second language. But when people write R as R and your as you are, come on now. Like, this is genuine laziness, and it's dumbness, because the more oftentimes you refuse to think, the dumber you're gonna get, because the brain's gonna be like, okay, I don't need to think. And the moment you will need it to think is gonna be like, how do I do it? Oh no, stress. And then I need medicine. And then I need to go to a therapist. Oh my God. And it all starts from these little details. Remember, these key points are always in little details.
And that's why I believe those kids who are protesting this, because there's so many videos of kids doing this. So it's obviously very popular among younger, teens and children. Yeah. I don't doubt that this is happening, but the school should not be allowing it. I am so sorry. What is that? What is that? This is terrifying.
No, for me, it looks like a costume. I can't even... That's the thing why I never cared, because genuinely I could... Like, if someone came to me and said this is serious, I would not believe them. Because this genuinely looks like a costume. I can't even react to it.
Do not involve the kids. Why are you making the kid dress up as that?
This is a man, right? Or is it a woman? Again, why would you want to evolve to a pig? Like, we used to call someone a pig as an insult. And it's not even the same as calling someone gay as an insult, because gay as an insult, it's kind of wrong. I do agree. It's like calling someone gay as an insult would even be considered more stupid. But calling someone a pig describe that you're that low developed that you belong with the pigs sniffing around the ground. And this person probably took it too serious. They were like, yep, well, if people call me a pig, they're gonna use this Pumbaa clip where they call me Mr. Pig. Like, unless you're cosplaying Pumbaa, this is genuinely the only reason I could see you going. But this is not Pumbaa color. Maybe she wants to become Mrs. Pumbaa.
I hate it here.
Yeah, Timon would disapprove as well. And we have an ad.
Immer 100 Grad kochendes, gekühltes.
My boyfriend just got home.
This is not.
Okay, this is a woman. She has a boyfriend, which is already a bigger shocker for me. Maybe he's into this, or maybe he genuinely is Pumbaa. I'm telling you. Maybe his last name is Pumbaa. You gotta help me on this one, guys.
Helping with my furry phobia. Actually, it's making it worse.
But do they consider themselves as furry as well? Because I thought furry are only, fluffy animals. I don't know, rabbits, cats, foxes. Okay, I'm not going to do this.
Do you think I'm beautiful?
Oh no. He just wants to get laid, woman.
Do you want some mud? It actually feels kind of nice.
And I'm not even gonna lie, I heard about people like doing mud baths, but they never do mud baths and claim they're a pig at the same time. Like, that shit is weird.
Oh,
Even the guy, he's like, yeah, listen, I might want to get laid, but take away your mud, take away your mask. Let's just go to bed.
I think
Maybe go get a shower before we do it.
that's mental illness. Do you love animals? Great. I love animals too. Go outside, look at the birds, adopt a dog or a cat.
You can even adopt a pig.
Why do this though? Why?
Jack, hold on a minute. Can we just talk about this? Oh. Well, he gone. Great. Now what am I gonna do now for a furry roommate? I know. I'll take to the internet.
What was your screensaver?
Net. Alright, so we got a new furry friend out of the way.
You know what this just reminded me of? When I was like 10 years old. What was that? Kung Fu Panda 2 came out. Okay.
Awesome.
And I went to go see that with my friend in the theaters, and I was obsessed with Shen the peacock. I thought he was the coolest character. And I was looking at my friend, I was like, "You're obsessed with him too, right?" She's like, "Girl, that's a peacock." I'm like, "Yeah." So maybe this is like that. They're just taking inspiration from animal characters they like in shows, whatever. I understand that. There are a lot of cool characters. But this looks nothing like you would ever see on a show. Like, this just looks so weird and scary. Like, in my opinion, that's terrifying. So I don't know how anyone could look at that or wear that. It's probably so nasty. It's probably so uncomfortable to wear that thing.
Strudel believes there should be some limits.
Continue doing things you like, continue dressing up, continue making art, but maybe let's keep it outside of school hours.
Listen, Strudel, I agree with you. I agree. Recently, there was actually that video of a guy in the dog mask thing out in public in a restaurant. Listen, you can do that. You can dress as a...
And again, it's not even that big of a problem. I would say the problem is that when you're trying to talk to this person, he considers it offensive if you call him a man or a woman because they identify as a furry. That's genuinely the problem, I think. The real problem.
dog, but do it at home. Or go to your furry convention, but maybe not like in a restaurant, in a public setting, or at school. And that's all for today's video, guys. Please.
Again, maybe that wasn't that fancy of a restaurant. In any case, moral of the video, as usual, the story of a video. Listen, it's all good. It's all good if you enjoy your life, even pretending to be someone else. I never understood why would you want to downgrade yourself, but really, okay, I actually have more of this story. Try to become a better version of a human rather than downgrading yourself. And if you want to act like one, well, you're all welcome, but don't make it your own identity because that can take you too far. And that's all for today, folks, at least for you watching on YouTube in replay, because for those of you watching in this stream, we're now going to the second video, as I promised. But for those of you watching on YouTube, you have got to like this video. You have got to like this video. You got to probably subscribe to this channel because, come on, let's hit the milestones. maybe that will motivate to actually, maybe that will motivate me to do some actual video in addition to reacting. But that's in the future. But as it stands today, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my other reactions. Ciao. Ah, this was actually, I think, a very, very good reaction because it didn't take us very long. I kind of used the tips that some people share with me, about waiting till she says something, then commenting on it. Maybe, I don't know, take an additional break. And we fit a 12-minute video into a 36-minute reaction, which, as it stands for now, is a success.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy, and some people think
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
strange.
You're a therapist, but I'm not paid for this ad. Okay. Are you ready for the second reaction of the night? Woo! We are going to talk about communism. Yes. Because this channel, okay, let me actually say this in the YouTube presentation. So, prepare for the communist revolution. Lenin is coming again. Okay, there's no Lenin actually, but we are going to react to insane anti-capitalist TikToks. Well, Misha Petrov is going to do it, and I'm going to react to her. Why? Because I am not really on time to collect all of this content on my own. So I just watch YouTube, I just react to it, and I hope you enjoy it. If you have any suggestions, any additions to it, you're always welcome in the chats. You're always welcomed in the comment sections. If you're watching this on YouTube in replay, subscribe to the channel because we're trying to hit a milestone. And without further ado, I suggest we hop into the reaction.
Here comes the communist! Welcome!
Break down capitalism? What do we eat during the revolution?
They're just a to capitalism and they're...
Oh, is she going to react with this guy? I genuinely don't know who he is. So I'm going to be chill on him as well.
Brainwashed. I hate my stupid, racist, xenophobic ancestors who set up this fucking system.
Hey guys, it's Misha and welcome.
And before I go into all of this, I want to say something.
Back to my channel. We're going to be taking a look at some communist TikToks. So Brad, do you want to tell us what you do here on YouTube?
Yeah, Brad Palumbo. I cover all the craziest things on the internet, in politics, and especially in the LGBT community from the perspective of kind of a center-right, moderate perspective of a gay man. But
okay. Man, if I will like you, I might even react to your videos on Thursday, shall we? Brad Palumbo. Well, let me write it down so I don't forget it. And while I'm writing it down, we can watch it.
A lot of the stuff you cover, I have a similar take on in terms of alphabet TikTok and also socialist and communist TikTok, which we're going to get into today.
There is so much momentum right now for us to capitalize on to break down capitalism. And I wanted to talk about my view. So hi, I'm Margot. I'm a
before she shares her view, let's bet 100 cents that she won't offer a better resolution than capitalism.
Nutrition professional, and I am looking into like how are we going to feed each other and ourselves in order to sustain us through the long haul and make the most impact. So I want to work with other nutrition professionals and come up with some ideas of how we can be utilized during this time and come up with an outline of like what do we eat during the revolution for people to get behind. If you're interested in doing that with me, let me know.
What kind of revolution is she talking? Is there an actual communist revolution? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not excited about it happening, but will be excited about reading this in the news. I genuinely want to see how people are going to try to push over their ideas, so to say.
Also, if that's something that you're interested in, having, let me know.
Is she trying to grow her business or something?
That's actually not very socialist. I didn't realize that the field of nutrition was like an ideological field that people are using to advance movements. I think if I knew that my nutritionist or nutrition expert I was seeing was like pursuing some ideology or movement or revolution, I'm not sure I would trust their nutrition advice, because I feel like that's supposed to be an apolitical field.
No.
Another thing that I consider being a problem, if you're a nutrition in a in a communist society, you can't suggest what is the best for one person, but you have to suggest something that in general is going to fulfill equally everyone. And again, the big problem that we're all different, so you can't really fulfill everyone. Do nutritions even exist in modern communist societies? I should research that later on.
They can't have that. Everything has to be politicized. Maybe she's not eating right, and she's not getting enough nutrients because something's not working up there. And I think in true communist fashion, in historically how this would work is that you would have nothing, and then in terms of having a revolution, I mean, for
what does it say here? Ah, wait.
And I think in true communist fashion, in historically how this would work is that you would have nothing.
Носок нет, обуви нет. Okay, so no socks, no shoes.
And then in terms of having a revolution, I mean, for sure, there's going to be some disruption with the production and the distribution of food. But I would like to know some more details about this revolution. Like, are we missing something? Has something been, planned?
Then there will be no rich. Isn't that amazing? Nobody will be rich. We're all gonna be equals. Yay!
And
they inhabit these echo chambers on TikTok where it's like them and all the other communists talking to each other, and then the comments are all just gassing them up, and then they block anybody in the comments who like points out that their ideas are stupid. So they
don't even, like, I have to point out, they don't even block people who straightforward insult them, but they also block people who comment on their thoughts rationally, like trying to debate with them. The funniest thing is, although when they later on point out that, look, we're being insulted because we had different ideas, and at the same time you limit someone other's idea, someone other's choice to say something.
They start to think
to express their opinions.
This is actually like a widespread mentality just because they see it on TikTok all the time. But like if you actually step outside, it's the kind of thing you only see in two places: TikTok and college campuses.
So next up we have
I should really look into my college campus. Hi, Christina. So good to see you. We're talking about communism here. So feel free to pop in any amazing comments you can have on it.
The bug fairy, who is very upset.
Who set up this freaking system that sucks for everyone except for like the 1%. I'm gonna tell you who set it up. I'm gonna tell you, woman. I hope you identify yourself as a woman. The 1% that hustled their lives, that instead of going out there and getting their drugs or getting wasted, stayed at their place and grind, they went to the top, and now they decide how this world goes. And you just sit there and complain. But let's listen. Maybe she will get some rational arguments. Who knows?
Said she just wishes she could, take down capitalism, and then that would fix all her problems. So let's watch.
All I can ever think about is the fact that this is not the way that life is supposed to be. The whole working your life away just to have a little bit of money, a little bit of free time to do things that you actually enjoy. It's such a waste of life.
Work more, earn more, enjoy more. Bam! That's the resolution.
And the older generation will be the first to call my generation lazy for saying things like that, not realizing that they're just a to capitalism and they're brainwashed.
Oh?
I hate my stupid racist xenophobic.
My older generation came from from an actual communist state. So, hey, we have different ideas with you, and and they still call our generation the laziest one.
Phobic ancestors who set up this fucking system that sucks for everyone except for like the 1%. This stupid capitalist society has made it to where no one can do things for themselves anymore because we've been brought up to depend on everything. Grocery stores, restaurants on every corner, a convenience store on every corner because we can't do anything for ourselves and we have no community. All we rely on is people who are getting paid and overworked their whole lives to get things that we need. That's not community. It's all nothing but a capitalist hellscape that sucks the life out of everyone.
Define capitalism. Define it.
I just hate all of this. I hate ancestors. I hate everything that has happened throughout history to get us to the point.
You know, what we were talking about on your channel, how people tend to bring up anything and everything and then blame it on capitalism. We reacted to a video of this guy who was talking about segregation, right? And how if you're anti-capitalist, you're just like the people that were in favor of segregation, right? It's the same thing here. She goes on a rant about xenophobia and she hates her racist ancestors, doesn't seem to give us a place that she's planning on moving to. I think there's a reason why so many people risk their lives to come to America. And then yet the people born here, they don't tend to, you know, when they make these TikToks, they don't give us a country that they're planning.
Again, they never lived in an actual society like this. So they don't appreciate the actual benefits they get. And you can partly blame them, but you can also blame their ancestors and probably their parents because their parents raised them badly. Yes. The parents of this girl who was just talking and complaining about all of this stuff, her parents raised her badly and how is this word in English said? When you get everything you want, but and you think like you deserve it when you actually don't. But again, woman, if you dislike, there's so many countries you can pick. Like Misha is right on this take. Go ahead. There are actual communist countries that exist now. Try to enjoy it by yourself. And you can also drag everyone who supports your ideas there as well. I don't personally mind. More for me.
Planning on moving to, where communism is working out great.
Like the cost of life really has become just unreasonable and way too expensive in the last couple of years, especially with inflation. But what bothers me is that they blame that on corporate greed or on capitalism, as if those things suddenly started in 2020, right? As if corporations became way greedier between 2019 and 2021. But that makes no sense. In reality, what happened is that in response to the pandemic, the federal government spent trillions of dollars we didn't have and printed it all out of thin air. And now all the prices went up for everything and we're all poorer. So I can have sympathy for them for that, while also like realizing that they're blaming.
I genuinely can't. Because I can't have sympathy to someone who doesn't work as much as me. You know, I might not be the greatest human being on this world. I might not even be the smartest one, but if there's one thing I actually do is work. And so whenever there's someone who works worse or less than me and complains to something, I can't have sympathy to them. I'm sorry. Life is failed, but someone still managed to succeed in it despite the inflation. And yes, most people didn't. But why do you look at the most? Why don't you think, why am I not amongst those who found a way? You know why? Because it's way easier to just sit down, pull off your phone and go, bad capitalism, communism. They can't even describe what capitalism means and what communism means. What's the difference between communism and socialism? They can't. Most of them, I'm telling you, 98% of them will mumble when they get asked when they will get asked this question face to face.
Capitalism for
That's
all
not
this.
capitalism.
Those are some of the most anti-capitalist policies I can imagine that are actually to blame, though.
No, for sure. It goes back to blaming everything on capitalism.
The stupid capitalist society has made it to where no one can do things for themselves anymore because we've been brought up to depend on everything.
In the Soviet Union, for example, you would be relying on the government. The government would have all the power to give you everything you need hypothetically, but also take everything away from you.
If you look at the data, the number of hours worked in America on average has only come down. People still work hard, they have long hours, a lot.
And you want me to have sympathy to them. And you want me to have sympathy to them. Listen again to what he said.
Everything away from you.
If you look at the data, the number of hours worked in America on average has only come down. People still work hard. They have long hours. A lot of people have it tough, but it's gotten better, not worse. She acts like capitalism is constantly driving us into more and more.
So you work less, you get less, you blame someone else. And unfortunately, this is the logic of 98% of current human beings. It's a sad world we live in sometimes.
More backbreaking hours and labor, and that's just not true. And then also she says it's only helped the 1%. Let's talk about that for a second.
Bro's gonna do some actual math now.
Because if you think about
not math, drugs, but mathematics.
Even a person who's like working class in America has an iPhone, has Netflix, has a computer, basically has clothes that came from across the world. If you compare them to the richest person in America in 1930, they have a better life. Like, they have more luxuries and more technology that those people could only even dream of.
But they don't appreciate it. That's because they were raised poorly. All genuinely that I can say. That girl doesn't look that old. I think she's approximately my age. They were simply poorly raised to not appreciate what they have. I mean, you don't even need to take away iPhone from them. Just give them worse Wi-Fi and look how they crumble. My TikTok video, it's downloading for 1 minute now. That's too long. Oh my God. Bad capitalism. I can't take this serious.
So obviously we have inequality. Obviously we have lots of problems. But the idea that our economic system only serves the interests of the 1% when we're all walking around with supercomputers in our pockets because of it has always struck me as really silly.
There are genuine ways where you can make an affordable living by only using their phone. I'm not saying I know the solution, but there are people who know that. But instead, you decide, I'm gonna film videos where I blame capitalism. I saw this might look as a video where I hate, like where I'm straightforward hating that girl at the beginning. I genuinely, I'm not hating on her, but I want her to think. And looking at her, I think that only if you go with passive aggression like I do now, that's the only way you can tackle somewhere inside, because she's already prepared aggressive even when she did that video. Okay, let's finish this reaction.
This trend on TikTok, I don't know if you've seen it, where it's like bed rotting, like rotting in bed, and then like glamorizing just sitting in their bed all day long.
That's a very Gen Z thing, though. They glamorize that laziness and slothishness.
And she's like, oh, and it's always the other generations who are blaming me for being lazy, calling me lazy. No, I'll blame you too. I think that sounds pretty lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's also up to you with how you use technology, right? How long you're spending on your phone.
Like, genuinely, this girl is probably making a living from technology. She's doing YouTube, her own YouTube channel. She survives with it. She gets probably paid for it, gets some advertisements. But no. And again, maybe that girl did get paid for saying that capitalism is bad. Maybe that was all her plan. Well, if that was all her plan, if she's just trying to, hype up, then I'm going to criticize her, but for a different reason. But as we stand now, she's hating on communism. Oh, no, she's actually hating on capitalism.
Because I think what's happening, especially among Gen Z, is people have so much free time that they create problems. There aren't as many problems and they have to.
Yes! Oh my god, someone said this. It's like they can't fill their free time, and instead of actually solving some deep problems, they go and create their own. And this not only tackles all these anti-capitalist TikTokers. If you watch my previous streams, you know who am I specifically talking about, but I won't, because I don't want this reaction to get a lot of dislikes.
Created. They feel like they need that excitement. And so they see xenophobia everywhere. They see homophobia everywhere. It's someone misgendered them, and it's always something, it's always some problem that they make up because they're bored a lot of the time.
They lack life purpose. And there are a couple things that can give a person life purpose, I think. And one of them is a meaningful career. And that can look different to every other person. It's different based on, what you're passionate about. Another one of them is family, right? Having kids, getting married, these kinds of things, developing deep relationships. But these are both things that Gen Z casually disparages. And
the problem also as well is those are things that require time. You will fail in a lot of the times, especially in the beginning. In any case, either you're picking a family or you're picking a career path, you're gonna fail an exam, you're gonna not know how to do one thing or another. And there's a lot of lazy people in our world. There are a lot of lazy, arrogant, and dumb people who just decide that, oh no, I did a mistake. Well, I'll go lie on my bed. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Bad capitalism. And that's all they do. And that's all they keep doing until the end of their lives. Until they get kicked out on the streets by their landlord because they had no money to pay the rent.
And then they complain about how hopeless and lost they feel in life. And I have sympathy for them, but also it's it's our generation's own culture and attitudes that's actively disdainful of the things that can actually give you that purpose in life that they constantly complain about not having. So the math it's not mathing for me.
It's the same people who demonize now mothers, like stay-at-home moms who, that's a full-time job right there. They really can be. And so it's about family too for a lot of people to find that fulfillment. It can be about your job for sure. I mean, if you don't have...
Shout out to my mom. One of the most powerful human beings I know. I don't know how she went through by combining her career and making sure that me and my siblings grow into the people that we grew. So mom, if you're watching this, shout out to you. Love you with all my heart.
Have a family. If you don't feel fulfilled with your job, then of course you might go on TikTok and feel the need to talk about how it's all capitalism. If you had more free time, okay, what would you do with that free time? Or if you find a better country, tell us where.
If you're complaining about not having enough free time, I want to see your screen time app on your phone.
Right.
Show us the receipts.
No, I'd love to see it.
Bro, he's just killing it. I'm gonna, you know what? We're gonna dedicate a stream, maybe not fully to him, but I'll pick a video to watch of him on Thursday. I start liking this guy.
If it's showing 3-4 hours on TikTok
in an absolute heterosexual way,
you have free time, you're just wasting it, babe.
The next video is a very similar sort of narrative from a guy's perspective. So let's listen.
It's sick and twisted that I have.
Is he a guy? Does he identify himself as one? Okay.
To work just to survive, just to live my life for basic necessities. I don't want to work until the day I die just to eat and sleep. basic human necessities, it shouldn't be controversial. And free housing, free healthcare shouldn't be a goddamn pipe dream.
Bold of you to assume this person identifies as a guy, Misha.
Nah, we're doing a stream with it. I'm doing a stream of this guy. I just hope I'm not too loud so my neighbor doesn't come and shut me out. But yeah, Brian, you deserve the stream on Thursday. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I might have misgendered him, her, it.
Them.
Oops.
Like it shouldn't. I can't believe that I have to work to survive. I can't believe anyone thinks they shouldn't have to work to survive.
Right.
Because where do you think that food is coming from, right?
Those people that had to grow.
It comes, the trees, and the trees grow bananas, and you just sit down and you eat them. Or the tree grows apples, and you eat the apples, or any other fruit. And since the trees don't grow meat, you might as well go vegan.
Grow those crops and get it to the store and get it to your plate, that they have to contribute to society, that they have to put in the hard work, and then everyone else, they just get it. They don't have to do anything.
Where do you think this free housing?
No work for him. Just he's just gonna like sit down like this, chill, not care at all. Brother, come on. I genuinely hate when people complain. Like, I get it. Work is not. You can make work fun. And I agree, you don't have to work all the time. It's not about, only work, 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 work. But it's funny when it comes from people who, again, as this guy said, show me your screen time. I'll tell you if you have free time or you don't. I bet this guy spends an hour a day at least just scrolling and scrolling and scroll. And you know what? Again, scrolling. And then we need free housing.
Is coming from. Somebody built it, somebody planned it, somebody financed it. It's like what you are actually saying when they say this, and you see this all the time in their videos. I should have the ability to survive without having to pay for my necessities. What you're actually saying is that other people should have to work so that you can do nothing. Like you're actually.
And I'm not gonna complain. I want this as well. I want someone to do the job and I'll just chill. And I'll just do some other. The thing is, I think right now, if someone's gonna do one of my jobs, I'm gonna try to find another one. If someone did a lot of my extra shit, I would probably like stream more often, maybe do some specific videos for this YouTube. Like life would be easier and cooler. But sometimes you gotta grind just a little bit more than you do now.
Openly saying that you just want to be a human leech. Do they not see this?
They don't. I think it's the entitlement, it's the narcissism.
If we're talking about
entitled, that's the word I was looking for before.
People who are truly disabled or handicapped or something, like, you know what, maybe there should be some kind of societal program, maybe it's governmental, maybe it's charity, to help those people because they can't take care of themselves. But as far as I'm concerned, at least, people who are fully capable of taking care of themselves, but simply they're grown, able-bodied adults, and they just don't want to, they just want to live at the expense of others, as far as I'm concerned, y'all can starve. I do not care.
Here comes the communist! Hello, communist! Welcome! Jeffrey Bezos can eat a Here comes the communist! Welcome! Let's hope that universal health care covers indigestion once we eat the rich! Woo!
Okay.
I think this was a parody. Please, like, I remember when when we did the offensive tranny reaction, I couldn't understand where's the satire and where's the actual TikTok. So I hope this is a parody.
Thoughts, Brad?
I don't get the Amazon. First off, I don't think our friend here has a career in music. But
no, I don't think so.
If he's passionate about it, he should go and actually learn it. He might have, like, it's all about what you want. It's genuinely, at the end of the day, if he wants and he will actually put the work. Oh no, okay, you know what? Never mind. He's got to put the work. So yeah, forget about it.
Please.
Honestly.
He/they/she.
My Oppenheimer song sounded better with my voice that oh my god, when I remember it.
slash it, whatever, has a sense of humor, I guess. I'll give them that. But like a lot of the communists and the socialists, they really hate Amazon and they really hate Jeff Bezos. And I'm like,
Yeah, I
of
think it
all
was
the
a
rich
parody.
people to revile so heavily, Jeff Bezos is a guy who created an amazing product that millions of people use and benefit from every single day.
I would even say billions.
Have super affordable stuff and an insane variety of options delivered on the same day or the next day.
It has created many, many jobs for many people in warehouse, software engineers, right? Delivery, you name it. So I'm not sure why he gets all the hate. It's always Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, he got stupid rich and made billions of dollars, but he did it by creating value for lots of people. So if you were going to pick a rich person to
That's actually how you become rich. Easiest thing. You solve someone's problem.
hate, why have so many of them picked him? I really don't get it.
Maybe he got some of the clothes from Amazon. I'm sure he's used Amazon at some point in his
Oh, they
life.
all do. They all use it all the time.
And that's all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
So this video was kind of probably not even tackling really communism. It was more about people just being lazy. And moral of the reaction, you know what? Let this guy do it for you. Give me a sec.
That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer and explorer. Going into space. Mathematics. Quantum mechanics. The secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind. Talking about Justin Bieber.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah. There's so many beautiful things to discover in this life. And you will have to put in just a little bit of work. That's all for today, guys. This was Zeno77 today, reacting together with you to different YouTube videos. Obviously, it was the Misha Petrov stream. On Thursday, we're going to have another stream where I will tackle some other issues. Maybe if you offer some in the comments or in the chats, I will tackle them on Thursday. I got tons of work to do. Yes, I do work. And that is why I will cut the stream. And though I am not really feeling like it, but I mean, we did the program that I was planning on, and we will fulfill it in the next streams. Now that I started doing it more often, twice a week, we can afford it. So, guys, thank you for watching it. Thank you for still staying tuned in. I hope that I will see you in my other reactions, in my other videos. That also is dedicated to those of you watching me right now on YouTube on replay. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to this channel because we're trying to hit another milestone. And yes, if you dislike this video, you can put a dislike. I'm good with that. But please then, I genuinely ask you to comment below why. And with that being said, this was Zeno77 yet again. Yes, I repeated it twice. I apologize for it. I won't do it again because my next words will be, I will see you in my other reactions. Bye-bye.